Hello, my name is Raquel and I'm starting a booktube channel. I'm going to be talking about books here. I know a lot of people fell back in love with reading in 2020. I'm a healthcare worker, so 2020 went a little different for me, but I got back into reading as an adult about a year ago and I'm just having a really good time. I love watching YouTube videos about books, and so I wanted to make my own. So for my first video today, I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I have rated 5 stars this year so far. So I have read 60 books and 16 of those have been 5 stars. I have a lot of 5 stars, a lot of 4 stars. I rate things well because I very much research every book that I read. I never pick up something random. I have always very much done a lot of research on Goodreads or, through other YouTubers that I very much trust before reading a book. So I feel like I'm gonna love a book before I ever pick it up. So that is why I have so many, but let's just get started. So the first book that I rated 5 stars is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't really love Colleen Hoover. I'm a big fan. I've read quite a few of her books so far and I've loved every single one of them. So this one was, made me cry a little bit, and that's usually always what does it for me. Something that gives me an emotional connection always is gonna get a higher rating for me. I really liked this one a lot. The next book I rated 5 stars was The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I loved this. I loved the couple. Jonah is still one of my favorite book boyfriends, and I loved the Alaska setting. I loved the family stuff with her dad. I just really liked this. I listened to it on audio and I thought the narrator did a really good job. The next book that I rated 5 stars was Ignite Me. This is the 3rd book in the Shatter Me series. I read every single book in the Shatter Me series, including the novellas. I am a very firm believer that the series probably should have stopped at the 3rd book. I didn't love the series after the 3rd book, but this one was incredible. Liked the series a lot, and I remember being absolutely obsessed with this book when I read it. The next book that I read, actually don't have a physical copy, I read it on my Kindle, is Kiss the Sky, which is part of the Addicted Calloway series. I think it's the 4th book if you're reading them all together like the authors suggest. I'm still in the process of finishing this series. I don't think I'm loving it quite as much as everybody else does, but I really did like this book, and I have really been loving the Calloway Sisters series. Lily and Lo from the Addicted series just are my favorite. I don't know what it is, but I kind of dread it when I have to go back to their series. I very much like looking at them from other couples' perspective. I think Rose and Connor are my favorite. I very much like Daisy and Reich as well. Lily and Lo just are my favorite, but Kiss the Sky was so good. The next book that I rated 5 stars is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This was my first Ali Hazelwood. Really liked the women in STEM. Really liked Adam Carlson, and I just feel like I just was swooning over this book the whole time, and I just really liked it a lot. The next book that I read, I listened to it on audio, which I thought the narrator did a great job, and that is After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read quite a few of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, and I think she's just such a great writer. I love pretty much everything I read from her. There's some that I like a little less, and there's some I like a little bit more, but this one, oh my gosh. I feel like if you've been married for a long time, you're gonna really relate to this book a lot. Because, marriage is really tough, and I think nobody really gets it unless you've been married for a really long time. And I just loved this book so much. It is perfection to me. Love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have a few more of hers, and that's going to be like my priority over the next years to kind of finish her backlist. Really like her a lot. The next book that I rated 5 stars is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This was my first Penelope Douglas book, and I was a little bit worried going into this author because I had heard that all of her books are really taboo, and I didn't know how I would quite feel about it, but I love this book. I listened to it on audio, which I very much recommend. The audio book was so good. I love this, and I'm very excited to read more from her. I think the next book I plan on reading by her is Credence. Not sure how I'm gonna feel about that one, but I really liked this a lot. The next 2 books that I rated 5 stars are the 2nd and 3rd book in the Ravenhood series. So Exodus and The Finish Line. wow. Everyone says that the Ravenhood series is going to rip your heart out and just make you feel all the feels, and that is exactly how I felt. I felt like the first book was like, okay, I think I rated like a 4, maybe a 4.5. Like, it was okay. I was just really lost and really confused, and you understand as you continue the series that you're supposed to feel that way. But the second and the third book, yeah, I don't think I'm still not over it. I still haven't recovered. The next books that I rated 5 stars is actually a series, the Chestnut Spring series. My 4th book, Reckless, is still in the mail. I have already ordered this. I have already read it. Loved that one too. But every single book in this series is a 5-star for me. I love the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. If you haven't started this, I highly recommend it if you like romance. This is my favorite romance series I've ever read. I love all of these so much. I think Reckless, the one that just came out that I don't have here, is my favorite. That one, and I think Heartless. Reckless and then Heartless, but the other 2 are still 5 stars, and I loved all of them. These are funny, they're emotional, they're swoon-worthy, they're spicy, and yeah, amazing. Utter perfection in these pages. Love Elsie Silver, and I can't wait to read some of her previous stuff. And then the next book that I rated 5 stars is another Colleen Hoover, Reminders of Him. This one was really sad. I definitely cried a lot in this book. You know, if you're a mother or if you're a parent, I think it's easier to relate to how the main character felt in this book, not being able to be with her child. And that got me. I really like this. Again, Colleen Hoover's work is just always really addictive. Like, all of her writing is just sucks you in, and I really like all of her stuff. Next book that I rated 5 stars is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I went back and forth a lot with this, whether I was going to rate it like a 4.5 or a 5. I changed it like 1,000 times in Goodreads, and I settled on a 5 because while I thought that there were some things that maybe could have been a little bit better, I had an amazing time reading this, and I think that's the point of a 5-star read for me, is my reading experience, and I love this. This made me feel like I was 16 again, you know, reading Twilight and Divergent and Hunger Games, and I love that feeling of like that nostalgic, cannot stop reading, staying up until 2 a.m. finishing a book, and that's how this felt for me, and I really liked it. I am so excited. I have actually already pre-ordered the second one, so looking forward to that. The next book that I rated 5 stars is Blindside by Candy Steiner. This is my first Candy Steiner book. A lot of authors I've tried this year, trying to see which ones I like, but this is definitely up there for me. I really liked her writing. This very much reminded me of The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I read that last year. I'm actually still finishing up the Off-Campus series, but this reminded me a lot of The Deal. The Deal was one of my favorite books of last year, and this is definitely going to be up there for me this year. That, of course, is a hockey romance. This is a football romance. I actually think this is a little bit better. I had a great time. There was nothing wrong with this book at all. And then my most recent read, I just finished this yesterday, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I read Book Lovers earlier this year. That was my first Emily Henry book. I'm kind of making my way through her backlist. I liked Book Lovers a lot. I think I gave it a 4.5. I loved the witty banter, and same delivered through this one, but this one was so much better, I thought, than Book Lovers. I liked the romance. Again, her books are just always so funny. She always has really funny like side characters. There's always a little bit more to her books than just a romance. There's like a lot of stuff going on with this girl's family. And then just the idea of 2 authors trading genres for the summer just kind of sounds fun, and it was. And I was even excited about the story that she was writing. I just liked everything about this book. It was just a really good time and the perfect summer read. So those are all of my 5-star reads. I've had a really great reading year so far, and I'm really excited to see where the rest of the year goes. And I hope that I can make some more videos. So I will see you later. Thanks.